Can we take our seats, please? Thank you. Okay. All right. So, Steve, today's chalice lighter is Sue Sangi, and she's going to read. Come on. Yeah, okay. And she's going to light our chalice. Oh, let me get the... Can you read? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Sunanda Sangi, but everybody calls me Sue. Okay. I moved from Ormond Beach, Florida, to Lexington here 2 years ago. So I'm pretty new in Lexington. I have been a member for Unitarian Church for the last 15 years. I was in Florida and we had a beautiful church there. And Reverend Kathy was our reverend there, and she's still a friend. And so I'm happy to be here and, coming here and joining on Sundays. I live in the village of South Lake, Lexington. I was introduced to Unitarian Church by Alvin Steingold. I hope you all know about Alvin. And Alvin also introduced me to Emilio and Nancy Perez. A great friend. They contact me when I'm going to come to the church or not. Every Sunday, it's great to have them as friends. Great to have them. Thank you. And of course, then Alvin introduced me to Deb. Deb Matherly. And she has been a great friend too. We just contact each other during the week if we are going to the church together or not, what's going on. So it's a great thing to have her. I feel very welcome here and look forward coming every Sunday to meet everybody. And also, just to listen to the beautiful speeches and the meet people here. Thank you very much for your friendship. Thank you.
I invite you to join in singing our opening hymn. It's in your gray hymnal, number 209, O Come, You Longing, Thirsty Souls. And I thank Janice Klein for being our song leader for this hymn. Please stand as you're willing and able.
Oh, Our opening words today are entitled All Water is One Water, written by Mel Hoover and Rose Eddington. Water unites us. All water is one water, shape-shifting as it goes on in its unending cycle. The stream we gather by unites us with all the waters of the world, for all of life depends on water. That's why this common everyday element on which our very lives depend is sacred. In our thankfulness for water, let us remember to honor, cherish, and care for it for our own lives, for all life touched by water, and for those who come after us. This time I invite any of our young folks to join me down front for the story for all ages. Good morning. I'm gonna go against my normal routine and stand so that everybody can see. Is that all right? Crane your necks up. There's sometimes I wish I wasn't 6'5". This is one of those times. All right. Our book today, our story, is called Water is Water by Miranda Paul, and Jason Chin did the illustrations, so I hope you enjoy it. This is the way that we celebrate our water communion today. Does anybody know what water communion is? All right. Awesome. Got anything to add? What she said. I like it. All right, so thank you. The words that were shared this is a Sunday where people bring water from different places that are meaningful to them or places that they traveled and visited this summer. And it's a way of joining ourselves back together to start the year. It's a symbol of this thing that we all have in common of water that brings us back together and starts our church year. So great explanation. Awesome. All right, so this is our story, Water is Water. So can you see that? Drip, sip, pour me a cup. Water is water. It heats up, whirl, swirl, watch it curl by. Steam is steam unless, what? It cools? That's right, it cools high. That's right, a dragon in a wagon, a crow kneading dough. Clouds are clouds unless, what happens?
I just wanted to say that all of the three types of things are related somehow because if you melt, ice turns to water.
That's right, absolutely right. No, I can't. It was very complicated science that he brought to the table. But he was talking about the three types of water that we have around us. So, all right, so clouds are clouds unless they form low. You see that? Little fog. Yep. Misty, twisty, where's the town? Fog is fog unless, what happens to fog? It falls down. What do you call it when it falls down from the sky? Water? Rain, right. Patter, patter. What is that sound? Rain is rain unless it's on the ground. Slosh in galoshes. Splash to your knees. Puddles are puddles. Does anybody like to splash in puddles?
Yes.
Yep. Puddles are puddles unless puddles freeze. Glide, slide. Put on the brakes. Ice is ice unless, what happens to ice? It melts, or if it's cold enough, it might form flakes. Pack, stack, shape it, and smack. Oh, we don't necessarily condone throwing snowballs, but we don't condemn it either. Snow is snow unless spring comes back. Like January here in Columbia. Creep, sweep, squishing your boots. If water mixes with dirt, what do you get? Mud, that's right. And mud is mud unless there are roots. What would the roots do? Drink it up, that's right. Swig, grow big, reach for the best. Like an apple tree. Apples are apples unless... That's right, they get pressed. If you press apples, what do you get? What's the drink called? Apple cider. Drip, sip, pour me a cup. Cider is cider until we drink it up. Wow. And that's a little bit about water. So thank you all for coming down. And hopefully if you're able to stick around, you can come with your family and share your water a little bit later in the service. Yep. That's right. It went from plain water to apple cider. That's exactly right. Thanks for sharing. Yep. We created a conversation up here. At this point, we move to our time in our service where we light candles of community, a chance for all of us to hear, and for those who wish to share their joys and concerns with us in this place. So we invite you, if you have a candle this morning, to come briefly share and place your candle here. I'm going to share the first candle today for one of our staff members, Michelle, who's dealing with sickness and has been for a couple of weeks now. And so we keep her in our thoughts this morning. And she's one of those staff members that's always working behind the scenes and doing our finances, our bookkeeping. And so she's been able to do a lot of that work from home, but we certainly miss her presence here.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. I want to light a candle today. A great concern, an ongoing concern. More lives were lost in a mass shooting, this time in Jacksonville, Florida. A black community was targeted by a white man. We still have much work to do to fight racism in this country. Our fight is not over. And we white folk have to be a part of the fight. And this candle is for those lives lost.
I would like to light a candle of concern for two friends today, asking you to hold them in the light. One of them is a friend of mine, Clyde Roberts. Some of you know Holly Emore. He is Holly's husband. And he has bravely picked back up the Red Cross banner and will be in Maui for a minimum of 3 weeks in a management capacity, in the beginning at least, working with the FBI and dealing with missing persons. Please hold him in the light. It's a wonderful job and a tough job. And the other is my studio mate, John Stewart, who had knee surgery and who is having a little bit of trouble coming out of the anesthesia. So I say studio. In my case, it's a cheap place where I can make a mess undisturbed.
Whoops. That's all right. Hi, I'm Bill Martin. I'm lighting a candle of concern for my parents who both have COVID right now. And they're doing well, but I worry and would appreciate any prayers or good wishes you could send their way. Thank you. I broke it. Okay, thanks.
I'm Regina, and I was about to call on Reverend Dr. Stephen to bring the microphone back up, but thank you. But I didn't need him. This is a candle of joy today for me, and I don't usually get up here, and I brought all these things to show you, which I know is not appropriate, so I won't. But I do want to say, I don't know if this insert, this picture, I'm hoping it's from the mountain. I think that Sharon McCrum has something, but I don't know for sure. It looks like the mountain, and we're going to hear today a lot more about that camp and conference center in Highlands. But the mountain is really why it's my candle of joy today. You probably don't know this unless you just look at things that are in odd places, but around the corner of the alcove, that's the old word for this space, on the wall there's a photograph that Vivian Pallant, a former member here, deceased now, she was a president of the board. Vivian took that photograph standing on Meditation Rock, and she had that framed, and so I just call your attention to it. It's very much like this. I don't know where this person was standing. I do know where Vivian was standing. But it's a special photograph, and it's a reminder of our connection, which is the other piece of the joy. I've been thinking a lot about historic things and digging through pictures and stuff. And sure enough, these three pictures were taken at the mountain in 1983. When our congregation had a retreat, very much like the one that's coming up in October. And it doesn't matter if you look at this carefully, but let me just tell you that Joan Watterson and her former husband, Joe, were there. Jonathan, her oldest son, was there. He's in the picture. Benji, her second son, was there. He's in the picture. And my son, who is a good friend of Benji for many, many years, and still is, was there. So for the mountain and for memories, thank you.
Good morning. I'm Bud Ashley, my wife Chuck. We have a dual purpose candle today, one of great concern and one of great joy. So go ahead and give them the joy.
I'll start. Our son Jesse, age 31, a brief history for those of you who don't know him. He had a traumatic brain injury from a fall that he took off a really tall building 6 years ago. Has now managed to take a few steps by himself, but this is the cool thing. He called me the other day and told me that he was led to a chair in the middle of a room and completely unassisted, without his cane, without his walker, without his therapist. He managed to, just using his leg strength and his core strength, he stood up and sat down and stood up and sat down 12 times.
Yes, we were happy about that, but we're very worried this morning. Right now, as we speak, as a matter of fact, Chuck's mother is going into an operation. She fell down and broke the neck of her femur bone Friday night, and she's going into surgery this morning. I don't know what they're going to be able to do, but we're very worried because she's 88 years old, and this is a very serious condition that's happened to her. Yes, and she also has dementia, so it's just making things very difficult for the hospital staff. So this is a candle for Mom and for Jesse. Thank you.
This will be part of the community candle, but it's too important not to share, even though we've maxed out. A lot of us are connected to the music community and may have seen Charlie McClendon perform. This past week, his girlfriend, Miwa, had a catastrophic health event, and there was a walk of honor because this past January, she chose to be an organ donor. So not only do we have the candle to be our light, but I wish everyone who benefits from her gift quick healing and to be more light for our community. If you see Charlie, who's a multi-instrumentalist in many groups in the neighborhood, give him a hug.
I just want to add to the candle. I am going to be maid of honor in a wedding. I know it's kind of weird to follow that with this, but I'm going to be maid of honor in a wedding, probably the only time I'll ever be maid of honor. And we decided this when we were like 9 and 10, so there's a lot of family drama going on, and we're a little worried about it being as special as we want it to be. So I just hope that you keep us in your thoughts, and I just hope that it turns out to be a really fun time for everyone, you know.
I'm Anna Hamilton, and I want to light a candle of gratitude for our musical community here at the UUCC and say thank you to all of the musicians who shared their gifts while I was away spending time with my new baby boy, especially to Richard McLeod, who really took over the organization and all of the work for 3 of those services and collaborated beautifully with other musicians. I also want to say thank you from me and Lindbergh and baby Lyndon for all of the support, gifts, and care from this community that truly is surrounding his little life and our home in your love and care.
Now we'll add to that. Welcome back, Anna. The last candle that we light is for those joys and concerns that we hold silently this morning. Please join me in just a few seconds of silence to remember all that you've heard. As we prepare for our offering this morning, it's a reminder that our Share the Plate recipient this month is the Palmetto Place Children and Youth Services, and it's my pleasure to bring Courtney Tidwell up to share a little bit about that work.
Hi. Hello. My name is Courtney Tidwell. I've been here this might be my third year in a row, maybe fourth. No, COVID happened. So third year in a row up here talking to you guys. In years past, I was the community outreach coordinator for Palmetto Place Children and Youth Services. Today, I come to you just as a concerned community member. I parted ways with Palmetto Place late spring, but I still believe in the mission and they needed someone to fill in, and I said, sure, I'll do it. So I interviewed with Kristen Powell, who is amazing. We actually started our social work journey together in 2016. We started as direct care staff, which is like house parents. But first, for those of you who don't know what Palmetto Place is a nonprofit here in Columbia that provides safe and supportive housing to children 16 up to age 24. Federally, youth is defined as 14 to 24, and they start taking in youth at 16 through a continuum of care. So this past spring, we had 8 graduates from high school, 2 people received their GED, and 5 youth received their driver's license. Driving is a huge barrier for unaccompanied youth. Our bus system is good, but it's not as great as it could be, and so to be able to give a youth the opportunity to get their driver's license, and also the partnerships that they have, those youth got to take the driver's ed and everything for free, and then tests for free. So 5 youth were on their way to more independence from then. From January to June this year, they served 123 unduplicated clients between all of their programs. So the way that it works is usually a youth will let their social worker know, or another valued person in the community know, that they're struggling with housing insecurity. They'll get interviewed by a case manager. If they're a good fit, they'll move into the West Columbia location. There are 20 beds at that location, co-ed, and they work through programming where they are either, if you have a C or higher in high school, you can get a part-time job. If you've already gotten your GED or your high school education, then you're looking to work full-time. Whenever they're working, they have to save 60% of their income every month, give it to the case manager, and that's saved for them in a trust. And when they exit all the programming, they get 100% of the funds that they saved while they were living with us. I learned while I interviewed Kristen the other day that 2 residents that came in through that program actually finished all 3 parts of the program and are now living independently in their own apartments. That's huge. That means that they learned life skills, financial independence, financial literacy, and then they also went through our aftercare program and will now get to stay in the aftercare program for up to a year. The aftercare program, to me, is one of the most important aspects at Palmetto Place, because a lot of times youth will get displaced from their homes, or they're being neglected or abused by a family member, and they go and they find a place to live, and the family member isn't really part of that journey until they find out that they have an apartment and a car and a job, and now all of a sudden they're calling their line and need help. So for them to have the aftercare program, to come and meet with other youth that have had similar experiences with them once a month, and to also have the trusted support of a case manager through that year to say, hey, I know you love your mom, but let's put yourself first and make sure that all of your bills are paid and that you're straight before you start trying to help other people, is critical, because in my first few years at Palmetto Place, I saw a lot of duplicate clients from that situation where they got out on their own and then everyone was taking from them, and then they were homeless again and back in a shelter. So your support means so much. Half the plate means that these youth who don't qualify for these free programs through the government or through their school, they can still be a regular person and have interests and have hobbies, and not have to just feel like they're in a shelter so that they can work for a living and that's it, and not have the opportunity to have exposure to other things. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'll be in the back for a little bit. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Courtney. This time I invite our ushers to come and receive our morning offering.
Our offertory music for this morning's water communion is The Brook by Felix Mendelssohn.
We receive our offering today, a symbol of our commitment to our good work. Thank you, John. For all those educators out there this morning that wonder if you're making a difference in the lives of those children, I share this story with you this morning as a way of inviting us to our water communion. In middle school, a science teacher brought a globe into our classroom and invited us up to look around it and just basically spin it and tell us what we saw, tell him what we saw. And of course, different people were saying different things, and me being a very studious student of the book of Genesis in my Christian years, said, well, I noticed that God divided all of the land with water. So all of the land is divided by water. And my science teacher said, well, that might be true, which was kind of tough to hear, by the way. But he said something that I've never forgotten and still changes the way I see things. He says, another way to look at it is that all of those land areas are connected by water. And it totally transformed my understanding of the world that we lived in. And from then, I decided to be a Unitarian Universalist. I'm kidding. A little bit more of the story, but we're trying to give you the short version this morning. But that really lays the foundation for our water communion, a recognition that when we look at our world around us, water connects us all. And what a beautiful image and what a beautiful symbol for us to bring ourselves back together from our summer travels, from our time away to begin our church year together and be connected together by this beautiful symbol of water. So our water communion at this service is a chance for us to share some of those places or things that make water meaningful to us. And so you've been invited to bring little bits of water to share into the common bowl this morning. If you didn't bring some water or don't have it with you, there's also a pitcher here you can symbolically pour. We do invite you to share, but share very briefly where the water is from, and so that everyone has a chance to participate this morning. At this time, I invite you to come and participate in our water communion.
Okay. Our condo overlooks a small cove on Lake Murray. Walking beside the still waters every day calms my soul. Paddling on the still waters restores my soul, as it did yesterday morning where I got this water. Thank you.
This is FDA-approved water from the Shenandoah Valley, where we spent a great time with our family and my brother's family, who was visiting from Spain, enjoying nature and all the beauty out there.
I'm going to talk fast because it takes too long here. So we started planning for our summer vacation in December because we wanted to put new kitchen cabinets in. And we figured we would have a lovely summer if we started in December. And then in December, we had a roof leak in the family room. So in February, we spent, because we had to do the popcorn ceilings before we did the kitchen, so we replaced popcorn ceilings. And, roof leak, we had a roof leak.
Not in this water.
Okay, it's not in this water. Okay, all right, and that water, you got to show the water, yeah. Okay, then in February, so we replaced the ceilings, and then I fell down the garage steps and broke my ankle, and that caused tears.
Not in this water.
Okay. But I was grateful that I didn't break my neck. And then in March, we realized that the family room floors were buckling, and we discovered a leak under the house.
Not in this water.
Okay. And so then I started fighting with the insurance, and in April, half of the kitchen was done, but the other half of the kitchen was on a ship in the ocean.
Not in this water.
Okay. And then we got COVID, and then in May, we finished the kitchen, but I was spitting mad.
Not in this water.
Okay, because the insurance company was not going to cover the whole floor, and then finally the insurance company came through, and in July we started replacing the floor, and this was after packing up all the china and replacing the kitchen and everything like that, and moving all the furniture, and then in August we had baseboards that I decided to put in, and new paint to match. And what?
Sure, this morning, I got this water out of the new sink faucet.
From the new kitchen.
From the new kitchen.
And that's all.
That started in December.
Okay, thank you.
We had a better summer than that. This water represents water from the Glacier Bay National Park near Juneau, Alaska, where we took a wonderful cruise. And, most of you know that we cruise a lot, but this was very special because we had our youngest, last grandson with us. It was his graduation from high school, a gift for that. And the great-grandchildren do not get that gift, but this has been a tradition, and it was a wonderful time because we were with him, and we got to spend a whole week just getting to know him better. And it's gorgeous in Alaska.
I've been back for a week from a very unexpected opportunity to see Major Lake and Major Lake's water, and flew over Lake Erie, ended up at Lake Chautauqua for the most incredible week that I've ever experienced, I think. And being, as I mentioned before, into old pictures, I invite the children later, if you want to see what Camp Chautauqua looked like in the late 1800s and the early 1900s, and what children wore at camp. I mean, when they went with their parents, you can borrow my book and look at it all you want to while I'm here. But this happened because friends said, Regina, we have a place to stay. One person's not coming. We have an extra room. All you need is a plane ticket to Buffalo and a gate pass to Chautauqua. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, I hope you'll look into Chautauqua Institute on the banks of Lake Chautauqua in New York State. So this came from there. Praises be.
I don't know if I can compete with this, but this water is from my California and the family in California that hosted our 17-person reunion. And this is from their hot tub. And I got to be in the hot tub with 6 of my granddaughters. So I was happy. Thank you.
So this weekend, I had some, my grandpa texted us, he's from Delaware, and he texted us on Monday that he would be here on Wednesday. So we got to have a surprise visit from my papa and my cousin Mir, and then we were sitting out there. I don't know why this northerner likes sitting outside in the south so much, but I just was looking and I was like, wow, looking at my mom's lake house, thinking about how she came from, I watched her go from, skipping meals regularly to feed us in a trailer park to, in a rough life, to living comfortably with a loving husband and a beautiful lake house. So this water is from there and, from her lake.
Me and the missus had our first vacation in 7 years. I went to Cape Fear and got some water out of the Atlantic Ocean.
this water isn't from the Congaree River, but we've been wanting to go tubing down the river for much of the summer, but we haven't had time yet. But we're hoping today, maybe, if it doesn't rain, but we need the rain, so we want it to rain, but maybe later in the afternoon.
Hi, we're from Hartsville, and we didn't plan ahead, but this is from the well in our backyard, which we think is quite a luxury that we have access to this kind of water all the time.
It was underneath Hartsville.
That's right. Very good.
Sorry, I'm nervous. This water did not come from my pawpaw's pond, but I definitely gave it all of the love and had it charging under the moon with all of the love intentions that my pawpaw definitely taught and gave me. But yeah, I'm just gonna pour it now. Thank you.
My suitcase was way too full to bring water back from Ireland, which I went to back in the spring. It was a trip that I had dreamed of for years and years and years, and it's my ancestral home, so it was just really nice, and already I want to go back there. I want to live there, quite frankly. It was drop-dead gorgeous. But I also, this morning, interestingly, I was reading the Farm Bureau Insurance magazine that they send out. And the editorial, or I guess it's the editorial writer, had a headline that land was the most important thing that we have to protect. And I read that and thought, it's not just land, it's land and water. Because without water, we will all not be here. And my heart just goes for the people this summer that have dealt with drought all over the world. So my water is imaginary from Ireland.
Hi. This summer for me has been a summer of beginnings and endings. So this is a combination of water and ending. It's from my dog's bowl, because unfortunately I think that this is the last summer that we're going to have with him. But a beginning, it's also water from Audrey's apartment tap, because I'm moving in with Audrey, and that's great, that's exciting. It's water from the University of South Carolina fountain, because I officially graduated this summer, so that's an ending. And it's water from the church tap, because I started coming here this summer, so that's a beginning.
We're going to pour some symbolic water from some awesome trips and swimming this summer. I'm just grateful to have kids who like to swim and are good swimmers. But this guy will tell you about his favorite place where he was swimming this summer.
Seal Harbor, Maine.
Cold water.
The water is symbolic from our trip to Lake Lure. And also, I liked the lake.
All right, good job. Good job. Okay, we can walk back to our seat.
I'm not sure if it's the same for everyone, but bodies of water have a big part in kind of all my childhood memories, all the good times were near water. My wife and I, we kind of met, kept kind of seeing each other around a lake, and moving up to Columbia, it was seen as a big adventure for us. We didn't have a lot when we moved up here, and we spent a lot of time with the dogs, just walking, recreation, by a little lake that I took this from. That means quite a lot to us. We kind of spent a lot of time there while we were settling in. So yeah, water's played a big part in my life. So that's what that represents.
Well, my wife and I don't get to travel very much, and it's basically because we have a lot of animals to take care of, a lot. And so I also befriend feral cats in our neighborhood and try to find them new homes and stuff. So this water is from our faucet that we put out for all the birds and the cats and take care of all of our chickens and other animals that we have.
I believe that all water comes from the same source, but it's a place and an event that attaches a memory to it. And this is actually water from the Columbia River because I love the river walk. I like going down there and meditating. And a couple weeks ago, CJ and Bethany invited us to an event down there, so that's another good memory. And I actually told CJ, I said, don't tell anybody, but I actually enjoy hanging out with you. And also, what's symbolic about this vessel is it was given to me by one of the members of CUPS, and I use it in my rituals, my divination for when I incorporate the elements.
My name's Cliff, and this represents the water that joins me with this congregation. It comes from my tap at home. Nothing fancy like an artisan well and all, but I wanted to say thank you for the unity I have felt in this church now going on about 10 months. And thank you for being who you are and being a part of my life.
This water represents the water from Savannah, Georgia. My family, we went to the historic district for a week this summer. Beautiful city, so much history that we couldn't even scratch the surface of during our stay there, and would absolutely love to go again.
I'm still Gypsy. I did a little bit of math in the car on the way here this morning and realized it's been 23 years since I signed the book. So some of you all may remember Mariah, who is now taller than me. Got a call from her this spring asking what I was up to for the month of April. She invited me to join her husband and her 9-year-old daughter in an RV to drive across country. We are two alpha women. We have a lowercase alpha coming up. Brave, brave Jay. I love him so. So this is water from the trip. It was frozen. We made it all the way out to Anaheim, where the timing worked out that I was able to work the North American Music Merchandising event for a company called Peak Audio out of New Jersey, which has turned into an ongoing relationship. Jay got to go to his meeting. Our relationship as a family survived, and we got to go to a lot of national parks. So, all sorts of memories and lots of them.
Hey there, my name's Miles. Apologize if I'm a little nervous. I get nervous with public speaking, but this water is from my tap, but it represents the concept of home. That's important to me because I have a bittersweet thing. Earlier this month, I made the decision that when my lease ends on October 8th, I'll actually be moving back up to the Greenville area to be closer with my family. And it's bittersweet because I'm going to miss you guys, but it's sweet because I haven't really been around much of my family for the past couple of years, so this will be nice. So this is for the concept of home.
Hello. This is going to be symbolic water from my 2-year-old reusable QT cup that every time I am traveling all around and I am thirsty, I can go into QT and refill it, and they'll even give me a discount if I tell them that it's a refill. And I am not contributing anything to the landfill. There is nothing that needs to be recycled. I am not contributing to the plastic mess for our young people. So, yes.
Ever different, I'm going to have to put an ice cube in instead of just the water, but it's water to water, so it works. And it is made from the well water from Chuck and Bud, who took Miles and I in after my father's passing. And I just couldn't help but think of words from Tolkien, which reads, "The world has changed. I see it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that was once was lost, and now live on who remember it."
Just to follow up with what Matt said, yes, I enjoyed you down by the river too, joining us. Good job. Now this water here represents our family connection when we all went on a vacation trip to Seattle. It's Olympic National Water, Olympic National Park water that came from the waterfalls and the lakes.
Hello, I'm Micah. This water comes from Wisconsin. I get to visit home once for a week, about once a year, just because of my job. But recently I've been going through an exploration of different modalities and cosmologies, and the spiritual group that meets on Wednesdays has helped me, recognize that you have to let emotions flow, and that's really the way that you can learn to actually use them in a positive way. Stuff that might be negative, like anger or nervousness or different stuff like that. It's a way to connect everything together. So.
Hello. This water is symbolic. It's from my new apartment. It's for new beginnings and adventures. The last 4 years during undergrad, I didn't get to do much adventuring, so this summer I wanted to do that. Went with my brother. We drove up to Boston, stopping along in DC and Connecticut. And then later we had the family vacation where we went up to Seattle, and then went back with my sister and her boyfriend to San Francisco for a little while, where they live. Yeah.
This water is from my home, and it nourishes the beautiful flowers that I have growing in the front and the backyard. And every time I look out the window and see such beautiful flowers, I can't help but smile and be happy.
We have this water here for from home, and we would like to share how much our family means to us, because once this water came from my mom's house, but then my mom, of course, drank it all, and then and then she filled it up with water from our house, and I would like to share how meaningful every piece and family is to us, and water is a type of thing that we need in life, because if we wouldn't have it, none of us would be here, and it would be nice to have it for the rest of our lives.
Okay, just to add on to Cameron, I was here last summer, and I think I quoted Pocahontas when I said, what I love most about rivers is you can't step in the same river twice, and so much has been changing. Cameron moved out the end of the summer to his dad's house, so I have him like on the weekends, which is very reduced part-time, something that I've never been used to because he's 9, and I've been his mom his whole life, and I was so scared, and a lot of it was pride, I realized, that I had to put aside, and now just seeing the person that Cameron is in the 4th grade, I'm just really proud of him, and he's just grown so much, and so thank you for having us. No, you don't need to ask me. It's okay. Oh, I got it, Mike.
Hi, I'm going to pour some water from Germany. I was able to see some family for the first time in almost 10 years, so I'm very grateful for that.
I just wanted to share something that probably most of you know already. My mind is like a steel trap. It frequently slams shut. And so the water I brought back from Barbados is still on the shelf in my study. And it wasn't Barbados, it was the Galapagos. So you get more insight. Anyway, this is virtual water from the Galapagos. A wonderful trip. A wonderful look into nature, how it should be.
Yeah, our minds are like a steel trap, rusted shut. That's the. This is a combination of water. It's from the Umbla River, which comes out of a mountain right north of Dubrovnik. It's great if you don't like canoeing. It's great to canoe on. It's 90 feet long. It's one of the shortest rivers in the world. It comes out of a mountain and goes 90 feet into the Adriatic. So half of the water is this, and the other half is from our pool, which is from the sky and from our well. And it is our soul-sustaining activity. And we, everyone hates the summer here, but we love it because we get to swim, and we think maybe this is the last weekend because the weather's going to change and get cold. So those are the two.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Robinson, married to Stephen, and we're sharing water from Murrell's Inlet, which is turning into be a ritual for us as a family spot every year.
Okay, so I've been asked every year what happens to this water once we get it all collected here, and in UU tradition, it's always that we stir it up and the minister or a staff member gets to partake. So Anna, no, I'm just kidding. Actually, this water is made sacred by our joining together, but actually create more sacredness out of it. We have so many places around our property here where in memoriam, different plants and trees have been planted. And so I usually take some time after the service to not only share this water with those plants, but also connect with those people who are no longer able to be here with us, that are still very much a part of this communion and a part of this community. So in that spirit of the sacredness of this water, please join me in our litany. Guided by love, secured by hope, and made courageous by faith, we center ourselves around our ingathered water, both learning and teaching, welcoming the injured and healing, always seeking justice. With pilgrims and seekers, growing children and cherished elders, a community of diversity guided by leaders, visionaries, and workers. Seeking truth and deep meaning, honoring all paths, hearing and respecting all voices. Together, let us receive our ingathering waters as a gift. May they inspire renewed commitment to our great covenant of love, hope, and faith. May our eyes be open to the opportunities for connection and investment within this community and outside these doors into the broader world.
I invite you to join in singing our closing hymn, number 136, Where Gentle Tides Go Rolling By. It's in your gray hymnal, and I invite you to stand as you're willing and able to join in singing.
Our closing words come from Alan Watts. You can remain standing. You didn't come into this world, you came out of it, like a wave from the ocean. You are not a stranger here. Please join me in our benediction. thank everyone who was here for our service and for your patience. It's typically a little bit longer service to give us all a chance to share. Remind you that we do have a lunch and learn afterwards for those who are interested in learning more about the camp experience and the mountain experience. Thanks to all of the guests who are here today, and I hope you stick around, give us a chance to get to know you and for you to get to know us as well. Thank you all, those who are here and those who are joining us virtually, for being a part of our service today.
Bye.